Hello, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. I greet you by the time this video is meeting you. Um, in continuation of some of the topic I bring across to you as it concerns African descendants who are living abroad, living in the UK, US, Canada, and all Australia, and all that. I just want to quickly share my thoughts on Africans abroad and the concept of parenting. You all know that because of the difference in culture, cultural background and all that, you talk of the Oyinbos and you talk of Africa culture and and we all know that they will say for example the way a Nigerian mom is when for example your mom wants to tell you that you should do something before she comes back from maybe outing and all that. She'll say, by the time I come back, if you want to know in Nigerian mom, say, by the time I come back, may you no wash that plate. you know so he's invariably telling you that you should wash the plates, or else you will see the consequences of not doing that if your moms come back, and all that. You talk about where the kind of mother child relationship where your mom is in the sitting room and she's the maybe the TV remote is just by her. She will still call you that you are maybe in your room to say you should come and bring that remote and all that. These are the kind of things we are all used to back home and all that. And the kind of parenting that we have in Africa, in Nigeria, for example, where when there is your parents have visitors and maybe they are in the sitting room, you are expected to excuse them, as sign of respect and all that. You just give space and all that. So all these are the kind of background that we had, and how it is, like talking of parenting and religion, where you as most of the time the religion of the parents are the religion of the children, and that's the kind of parenting that we had. You absolutely have no choice as to say independently say, okay, I have studied this religion, or I have studied all the religions, or and look at the religion and decide that, oh, I don't want to be religious and all that. And that is the kind of thing that we have in Africa. So um as a child, as an African child, you automatically take to the religion of the parents, and without choice. uh, and you talk of even career, choosing of your career, choosing of a job to be done and all that. You know how it is that a parent will say, oh, I want you to become a doctor, and he will do everything to see that you become that doctor. Or I want you to become a lawyer. And even though your wish might be that, okay, you want to be maybe a footballer, a musician, a creative arts person and all that. You know how it is, where the opinion of the parents and their expectation of you is supreme. You know this kind of parenting or parent-child relationship in Africa. You know, all these are not the kind of parent-child relationship in the Western world, in the UK, US, and all that. So in the Western culture, the children have uh, independent mind. They are allowed to freely choose what they want to do, independently of that of the parents. They seek their opinion in taking decision. They take them as people whose opinion should be sorted um, when decision about them is to be taken and all that. So it makes it a bit shocking. It makes it a bit difficult for African parents to be able to adapt to this system, because they are wired differently. They have a very different background. So how do you cope as an African parent living abroad, living in UK, for example? So one of those things that you must do if you want to succeed in your parenting as an African, as a Nigerian who is living in the UK, for example, is that you know how it is where spanking is the order of the day. Like a child is, giving punishment is like maybe you use corporal punishment in molding the child's character and all that. That's not obtainable in the UK, for example. So, what do you do as an African parent living here, and you still want to be able to um, groom your child in that African culture? You want to still retain the culture. So, what you should do is what we refer to as catch them young. You begin to change the way you relate with the child right from childhood. You try to be their friend, because learning takes place right from one upward, even before one. Because we are now in digital age, so the children that we have now are have fast brain. They have the internet brain, they are sharp. So you begin to make sure that you're very close to them. You um, come to their level, and you are able to influence their choices, even though sometimes all this doesn't work. But most of the time, about 80% of the time, when you make your child your friend, you are able to come down to their level. You communicate well with them, you give them time, you have a lot of time with them, you give them that listening ear, and they see you as somebody that is their confidant, as somebody they can easily relate with. It will be easy for you to guide them, to make them see reason why probably maybe that career you want for them is what they go by. That religion that you want for them is what they go by. In you that um, definition of respect, that way that we do it in the African way, is what you want for them. So you have to come down to their level, make sure that you have enough time for the children. So it will be easier for you to um, influence the way they they form their personality, because personality is formed by experiences, by people we relate with, by people we interact with, and all that. So because of the fact that you give them a lot of time, you give them attention, you give them that room to be able to talk to you, it will make it easy for you to influence them into those positive attitude of what you want, and that's the only way that you can actually achieve guiding them to the way that you want. As an African, we want our child to go in the way we want, and that's the way we are built, that's the way we are wired. And that's why the only way is you make them your friend, you create room for that dialogue, you create room for interaction, a robust interaction right from when they are very young, and this is the only way you can actually positively influence your children into molding them in the African way, even though you live abroad as an African. This is just one of the little ways that I have come up with to say you can actually still retain the African way of grooming a child. Have had an opportunity to speak with a parent here, and he was, like, oh, my child calls my his uncle by name. This is like a taboo in the African setting and all that. But it's more of a complaint. He was like lamenting and all that to say that the child now do things in the way of the Oyinbos. But it boils down to the kind of training, the kind of relationship you've had with that child right from the beginning. You know, if a child is one already, that child has started to learn one or two things, and you make them your friend, and that's the only way. You cannot do things, do your parenting in the way you would do them in Africa, because the setting is different, the law is different. You have the child um, act right, you have the children protection right, and all that. So you must and you know that you cannot spank the child. You know that you cannot use the corporal punishment for the child. So all you need to do is to be an influencer, to influence them. And how do you do this? Is by coming down to their level, being their friend, and all that. That's the only way you can achieve that. I will keep this as short as this. See you in my next video. Please endeavor to share, like, and comment your thoughts. For those who already have experiences in how parenting is for Africans who are living in the UK and other countries of the world. Thank you.